G'day viewers, welcome to another video. Before we get started, I'd like to ask, could you please hit the like button? It helps me with the YouTube algorithm and will help them decide who to share it to. It just progresses my channel, helps me out. And also, if you haven't subscribed, could you please do that, because 75% of my viewers aren't subscribed. It would mean a lot to me. It'd help me grow my channel. Thank you. Okay guys, how you going? Today's going to be the first of two videos. I'm going to start with the fine thinner pins and see how much I can get, and then I'll go on to doing these ones later. Now in the short, I said that I was going to cut these into three, but I've already tried cutting one and they're extremely easy to cut. I cut them into like 5 or 6 pieces, so I'm going to do that to all the pins, because the easier it is for the acid to get to everything, the better it's going to be and the quicker it'll be. So I'll weigh these up and see how much it comes to, and we'll get started. Okay, so it's on 0, and I need to put this on a flatter surface by the looks of it. No, it's going to hold. And I've also got a few here that I've already started, so see if I can get those to stay just here. Yep. Okay, so we've got 386 grams. And I'll start cutting them now, and then we'll process them, see what I get. So I found that all you need is a decent pair of cutters and, I don't know, big hands I guess, but just chops right through like nothing. Piece of cake. I don't know what I was expecting. They looked like they would have been harder to cut, but piece of cake. So that's going to be a lot better having all these little pieces. No point in showing you the whole lot, it's going to be pretty boring, but I'll do another one, so I'll just get a, just try and work out spacing them apart. Look at that, just cuts through like butter. And these are old and these are blunt, so piece of cake. Alright, so I'll carry on doing that. I'll be back when they're finished. So before I finish cutting these, I just wanted to give you a good look. So they're hollow, the gold's on the inside as well as the outside. It's pretty narrow at this end, it's a bit thicker in the end. There's some stainless steel here, it goes around the pin as well as one line of it up there, and then there's a hollow inside there as well. So by cutting them up into smaller pieces, I'm guaranteeing that the acid will be able to get to it all a lot easier. I'm trying to pick out the stainless steel as I go, but it's not really going to make a whole lot of difference, because the nitric acid shouldn't touch it anyway. I should be able to pick it out afterwards, but this makes life easier if I can get it out now. So there you go, that's what these ones look like. I don't know what they were used for, but they look like pretty high grade pins. Alright, so I've chopped all these up into small pieces, and there is still quite a lot of stainless steel in amongst it all, even though I've picked some of it out, but that shouldn't matter. And so now I'm going to go and put these into some dilute nitric to eat the base metals. Having it all cut so small should hopefully make it really easy. And I'm going to try doing something different in this video. One thing I hear all the time when I'm talking to people who sell e-waste as opposed to refining it themselves is I hear people say, is it worth it? Do you really make that much more by doing it yourself as opposed to selling it? Now, measuring my fluids is not something I normally do. It's not really necessary. However, I'm going to try my hardest to show you guys exactly how much acids I use in this video compared to exactly how much gold I get, and I will have the gold tested so you can verify that it's pure, and then you can work out for yourselves how much you pay for nitric, because it's well different to what I pay. From what I hear, I get it dirt cheap, which is not what I think. I think I pay a lot for it, but compared to what some of you guys pay, apparently I get it significantly less. So by working out exactly how much acid I've used and then how much you pay for acids, you can work out how much per milliliter is your acid worth, and how much it would have cost you with your prices to refine this, and then how much you would have got for the gold, because Australian prices are different to American and so on. There's no point in me just saying this is what it cost me, because everyone's prices are different. So you'll be able to do your own math and find out for yourselves, if you had done what I do, would you have been in front, or should you, if you had this stuff, would you have just sold it? And I think that's the fairest way I can go. As people have said, oh yeah, well, I don't see any facts and figures in these videos to make it verify whether it's worth doing. Well, like I said, there's no point in me giving you my figures, because they're totally different to yours. So hopefully each of you will be able to figure out for yourselves if this is worthwhile or not. Okay? That's the best I can do. So I've got a clean beaker here, ready to go. Now, my beakers don't look all that special, they look pretty dirty. I can assure you this has been cleaned. I don't know how to get my glassware spotless, and there's fingerprints all over it, like right now from where I'm handling it, there's fingerprints on it. But it is clean. A lot of my glassware has these dribble marks down them and spots all over them, and I've tried everything under the sun to get my glassware spotless, and I don't know, I just don't seem to have any luck. But the main thing is there's no minerals in there, no contaminants that are going to contaminate the gold. Excuse me. And anyway, it wouldn't matter because I'm only doing a nitric bath. Alright, so just be aware that I don't go using dirty, filthy old beakers all the time. They look it, and occasionally I might if I'm only doing something that doesn't really matter. But this is a clean beaker. When I say that, it's been washed with hot soapy water. I've tried using Jif, I've tried using BAM, off, dirt, whatever you call it. I've tried all kinds of things. So anyway, let's go and get started. So this is weird. I had this sitting for 2 days off heat, just as it is now, and I come out to check on it and there's hardly any solution in there. It's been hot here, but I didn't think it was hot enough to evaporate at all. So we're going to go some more liquid. I'll start with 200 mils of water. Hopefully that's enough to cover it. If not, I'll put some more. Yeah, that's plenty. So 200 mils of water, I've got to remember that. I'm going to write that down. And I think we'll do more nitric this time. So there's 4. 8. 12. 16. 20. So 20 mils of nitric. And I'm not going to put it on heat because that's a lot of nitric. Just going to let it sit for most of the day, and if I don't see any reaction, then I'll put it on a very low heat, and if still nothing major, I'll gradually turn the heat up. But that should be enough. Mark, the guy I got this from, he said that it took forever for AP to get through his, because there's that much gold on them. They're very thick coating, so he reckons. He's put some in nitric, and he said he's used a lot. I think he said 100 mils per something, I don't know. So we'll just see how that goes for now. I may even just put it in a dish and sit it out in the sun. The sun might be enough to heat it up. We'll see. There's not really many places at the back here where the chooks can't get to, or chickens for you guys in America. We'll see. Well, for now I'll just leave it sit here. Well, it's been sitting here for 2 hours and absolutely nothing's happened. So I'm going to put it on a low heat. My partner's working outside and she's going to keep monitoring it, but if any liquids are added, I'll definitely let you know. But if it just means turning the heat up or down or whatever, she'll monitor it. But so I'm going to put this on a low heat to start with. Put a lid on it. See if we can get something to happen. Well, it's been a couple of hours and the reaction has stopped. It's just a little bit green. So I'm going to put some more nitric. So I've written down the 20 from before and the 200 milliliters of water. Got it all written down in a book. So another 4. Do it slowly in case there's a massive reaction. That's the beauty of using these tall form beakers. Plenty of room for reaction. 6. 8. What am I doing? 4. Why is it going up by 2s for? 4, 8, 12, 16. One more. 20. Pretty sure that's right. Another 20 mils of nitric. I'm going to write that down. And pretty much just keep topping it up as it needs it, really. It's definitely started to get another good reaction. Okay, I'll be back to check on it. It's only been an hour and the reaction has already slowed right down. Now, normally, if I was just doing this without keeping a record, I'd just pour like 200 mils of nitric in or something. I'll just pour some in, because any extra left over I can use for my silver. But in this case I can't do that, so I'm going to keep adding small amounts. I don't want to add too much and then not need it all, and then the record shows a lot of nitric used. I'm trying to get by with the minimum amount of nitric used. So we'll do another 20 mils. 4. 8. 12. 16. 20. And going by the last hour, it won't take long for that to go. Starting to see nice gold flakes flying around, which is good. So I'll come back soon, and I'll probably have to keep doing this all day. Once again, it's slowed right down. This time I'm going to put more, because I don't want to do this every half an hour. I can tell that there's still a lot of copper yet to be dissolved. So I can't measure anything less than 100 mil here, and I don't want to do 100. So we'll do 4. 8. 12. 16. 20. 21. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Alright, so 40 mils. I'll pour that in and hopefully that'll last a little bit longer. I'll pour it in slowly just in case. Okay, we'll come back later. Okay, I had the GoPro on charge and I had to come out and put another 20 mil. So I've written that down and this seems to be taking forever. So what I'm going to do is the solution's getting a little bit low. I'm going to put another 200 mils of water just so it doesn't get too low. Like I said, I don't normally measure, but this is for you guys. And that should cool it down a little bit while I'm going to kick it in the bum with 200 mils of nitric. Actually, I'll leave it. I'll do 150. Right, 150 mils. That should keep it going for a while because I seem to be coming out here like every half an hour. It should be cold enough now that I can put this in without any major eruption. Put the lid back on. And it's looking quite good. I don't think it'll be too far off after that is used up. Just monitor it for a sec so it doesn't overflow. If you're in this situation and you see it getting close to the top and you think it's going to overflow, the easiest way to solve that problem would be to get wherever my little water bottle's gone. Here it is. A bottle like this, or you can use a spray bottle and just put some water in there and it'll make it all drop down again. So just quickly take the lid off, pour some water in there. You can even just pour it straight from your bottle or your spray bottle, whatever, just squirt it and it makes it drop right down again. So before you have an overflow, it's the easiest thing to do. But I don't think it's going to get any higher than that. I love these tall form beakers. When I started out I was using standard beakers. I didn't know, nobody taught me anything. I had to find out the hard way. And once I came across tall form, I will never turn back now. It doesn't matter what size beaker I get, I always get tall form. Alright, so we'll just let that go now and hopefully I haven't over nitricked. I won't do big batches anymore. I think that's just enough to kick it in the bum. I'll go back to using 20 mils at a time when this calms down. Okay, so it's died down again even with that 150 mils. And I'm going to set up one more lot of 20 and then that'll be it for the night. I'll turn the heat off and just let it sit overnight. I'll come back tomorrow. So I've got to refill my little bottle. It looks full but it's just fumes. So I'll fill that up. I'll put 20 mils in here. I'll tip it into there. Okay. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I know there's a lot of copper in these things, and I know that copper takes a lot of nitric acid. So tomorrow morning I'll probably give it like a 100ml shot and see how that goes. But I don't know, it shouldn't be too much longer surely. Right. There's not a lot of reaction. If you look at that there, it just seems to be this side here. There's nothing around there reacting, so it might be close to the end. I'm going to turn the heat off for the night and be back in the morning. Okay, it's the next day and I've turned the heat back on. There's no reaction from the residual that we put in the end of last night, so I've got another 20 mils. There's a reaction, which is good, but I can see a tiny section that's reacting. Don't know if you can see that or not. One little spot in the middle, so there must be just a tiny little bit of stuff there that's being dissolved, and it's picking up a little bit. So I'm going to stick to 20ml additions now. I may even go down to 10 when it starts looking like it's nearly finished. Some nice big foils in there. Alright, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Alright, off camera, I've put 2 more lots of 20 mils in, so there's 40 mils, and now I'm putting another 20. We're very close to the end now. The smallest little reaction in the corner there. You see where it's all bubbling? It's one pile that's getting dissolved. I reckon probably another 40 mils at most and it should be finished. Alright, so it's only been 10 minutes since I put the last lot of acid in and the reaction stopped. So I'm only going to put 3 milliliters in. See what happens. They're getting a slight reaction. I'd say we're nearly done, so I'm not going to go big amounts anymore. Even that 3 milliliters might almost be enough. I can just see some yellow vapors in there. So I'll give that 10 minutes or so. I'll fill up my bottle because my little bottle's empty, and so is my squirt bottle. And by the time I've done that, I'll come back and put probably another 2 or 3 milliliters in there and see what happens. Now if you're trying to work out if the reaction stopped and you're seeing vapors, the reaction could have finished but the vapors could linger in there. So what you could do is take the lid off, stand clear, and either let them come out or blow from a distance and it will siphon around and blow all the vapors out, and then put the lid back on and see if it comes back up with vapors again. Because in the past I've fallen for that trap thinking there's still a reaction and it's just the vapors that linger in there. You can see that's almost finished, that reaction's gone almost. So I'm going to try 1 mil and see if that starts up again. But I'll wait until I can fill my bottle at the moment, and I'll be back. Alright, so my bottle's full. Now if you look back here you can see some faint yellow fumes. So we know that since we've got rid of all the fumes, it's come back again, so there is some slight reaction. But I'm going to I will put another, that's 2 milliliters. So I put 2 mils in there. So for the Americans that do videos, you don't need to call it milliliters, alright? Just mils is perfectly fine. And instead of saying 1,000 milliliters, why don't you just say a litre? That's all it is. Alright, see the fumes come back again? But there's no big reaction happening in the bottom, so it's very faint, very mild, and I'd say we're very, very close to being done. Now, like I said at the beginning, if this was not being recorded how much I use, I would just tip some in there, because anything excess would go into my silver bucket. But for the purpose of this video, we're trying to record how much is used, so I'm going to painstakingly do small amounts at a time until it's finished. Okay, it's that time again, and 2 milliliters, 2 mils. Yep, there's a reaction, so that's good. Not much of one though. So at this stage I'll just do 2 mils at a time and come back in about 10 minutes or so. So as you know, I thought the reaction was almost finished. It's the next day, and when I came out it had crystallized. It was so concentrated that it had formed crystals. So I had to put more water in there. I put another 400 mils of water. Now the water is a medium for something for the copper in it to go into. The nitric acid dissolves the copper, but then it has to have somewhere to go. So it goes into the water. That's why you put water in. And look what's happened once I put more water in. It started right up. A very violent reaction, which is good. So it wasn't nearly finished, it just had nowhere for the copper to go. So if you ever get to this point and you think that it might be nearly finished, try putting more water in there. It's not going to hurt anything to have more water in, and see what happens. And there's clearly a lot more to dissolve than what I thought. So I'm just going to keep it hydrated until it's finished. Well, the reaction has died off, and I put another 20 mils in of nitric, and as you can see there's fumes again. I don't think it's a problem with hydration this time. I'm pretty sure there's enough water in there. I will, once the fumes stop and don't come back with when I add nitric, I will try putting some more water in just to see if it makes a difference. But I definitely think I'm getting close to the end. I'm keeping a tally of all the acid I put in, so I'll let you know for sure at the very end how much I used. I've just got to baby it now, just sit here and watch it, make sure that when the fumes stop I'll put more in. Okay, so the reaction stopped completely. I put some nitric in, I put another 10 mils in, and nothing happened. So I poured water in again, and with that the reaction started again. So I put another 200 mils of water. So I've got to go and write down 600 mils of water, 20 mils of nitric so far today. And when that reaction dies down, I'm not going to worry about putting in more nitric just yet. I'm just going to keep putting water in there, because that seems to be doing the job. It's obviously a lot of metal and not enough water to go into. So I don't want to waste the water, but I'll keep adding it as I need it. When I add water and nothing happens, then I'll try putting some more nitric, and if nothing happens, then I know I'm ready to go. Same thing again, the reaction stopped. I put some more water in. This time I just put heaps in there. So now I've added a total of 1 litre, 1,000 milliliters. And I'm going to see if it starts up again. It takes a little while because that water I've just put in there now has to heat up. Once it heats up, then it starts reacting better, like acids work better in heat. And I can already start seeing fumes there appearing now as we speak. I don't know if you can see that. If I sat here long enough, you'd see it all start going up. I'm going to give it a stir and mix this water with the old water down there, and I bet it will start up again. Just as I thought, I waited a few minutes and the fumes are back. There's something stuck down the bottom. I don't know if you can see that white section in the bottom down there. I couldn't stir it, it's stuck. I don't know what it is, it's not just there, there's a few places around the bottom of the beaker that's like that. A bit of a worry. I don't want to break my beaker trying to get it out later on. I've got no idea what it could be. But yeah, I couldn't move it with the stir rod. Something's really stuck there. But you can see all the gold travelling up and down through there. Some big foils and a lot of foils on top. So it's looking good.